Hello, this is Maestro X, and I'm going to go over the Level 1 academic word of the day, reject, for week 5, quarter 4. Let's take a look at your flashcard. Reject has 2 syllables, and the emphasis or stress depends on how you use it in a sentence. If you use it as a verb, like in the definitions that we're going to share, then the emphasis or stress is on the second syllable. And we say reject, reject. If you use it as a noun, as seen in this familiar word, which I think you have to add. I think it was left off here, so you're going to have to add it. But the noun form, the emphasis or stress is on the first syllable, and so we say reject, reject. Okay, reject, reject. Let's take a look at the verb definitions. They're similar. There's 2 of them. The first one is to refuse to accept or consider something. Okay, usually that's in your mind. You don't want to accept something. I mean, you don't want to admit the truth of something. You don't even think about it. Then you can say you reject it. All right? And so in our academic sentence of the day, the usage here is for this first definition. Let me read the sentence to you. In The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank rejects the idea of her mother as a role model because Anne feels her mother treats her unfairly. Some of you read The Diary of Anne Frank, and you remember that Anne just felt like her parents treated her unfairly, and so she at some point decides, hey, I can't think of my mother, as someone to look up to. She needs to mother herself. So she rejects the idea of her mother as a role model, as someone to look up to. Okay? She refuses to consider it. Let's back to your flashcard. The second one is someone refusing to accept someone else for a job or position, etc. You refuse to take it. Then you reject it. Okay? So if someone applies for a job, right, and they don't take you, then they reject you. Or in this example, and this is interesting because when The Diary of a Young Girl, The Diary of Anne Frank, was submitted for publication, various publishers rejected The Diary of a Young Girl 15 times before Doubleday published it in 1952. In other words, a lot of publishers thought this is not a worthy piece of literature. We don't think it's going to sell. But ultimately, when one publisher, Doubleday, decided to take a chance, and now it's just one of the best-selling books in history. More than 30 million copies in print. Okay, back to your flashcard. As I said, there's several different familiar words. We have rejected, which is your adjective form, your participle form. So you can say something is rejected. The process of being rejected is rejection. Okay, you can say the 15 rejections of Anne Frank's diary by the publisher. Or you can say the rejection of Anne Frank of her mother as a role model. Okay? And then again, this third familial word which you need to add, reject, as a noun. Okay? And I think that's where we're at. We're done. Okay, so you can say the reject. You can say that the book was a reject 15 times before it was published. Okay. Our synonyms are refuse, deny, disapprove, and decline. Decline, this one is really goes with the second definition. And then your antonyms are allow, admit, permit, and accept. And that is your level 1 academic word of the day. Be sure to write an original sentence using reject as a verb, not reject as a noun. And about yourself on a separate card if you got this one wrong on a reassessment, and include an illustration. Okay, happy studying.